Okay, you guys, this is part 9. This is part 9 of I married a white guy. Now 3 racist judges are trying to annihilate me. And this is a detailed account of racial injustice in the Los Angeles family court system. I married a white guy and was in a long-term marriage for 23 plus years. And 3 barbaric judges are egregiously, heinously violating my civil rights, and I'm documenting it. I'm going to recap where I was left off. So I'm telling the story, but you know what? I want to say some things. I always have to give commentary because this is me sharing my experience with you, and I'm trying to achieve multiple goals. I'm trying to document that this is happening. And which is, I think, is one of the most important weighted aspects of my goal is to educate you guys so you can see this is happening. And do I be drama, y'all? Do I be dramatic? Because I feel like I'm being like melodramatic, and it's because it's traumatic. And so what I'm trying to say to you, I want to say that I'm just coming back. I'm gonna get started and continue where I left off. But I want to tell y'all that my experience is hard for me. I'm gasping for air because I'm experiencing fear, and that is monumental important because this is how they do this to us. When all these, what's happening to me is traumatic, but the most detrimental, the most volatile, crucial is them killing us, them shooting us in the back for no reason. They just tried to, it's a video of this guy that T.I. had on his Instagram of this guy being arrested and detained when he was the wrong guy. They ain't even ask him questions. Okay, I'm not going to go into that right now. We're going to talk about that on this channel, but we're going to do most of that on Reignite Sandy Speaks. This is I married a white guy and 3 racist judges are trying to annihilate me. And I want to speak briefly about my mental health and what's happening and how I'm having challenges. It's scary for me and it's hard for me. And I told myself I was going to only give myself a certain amount of time to say this part, and I'm already at that amount at that time period. But it's been hard for me, and that's why I'm gasping for air. And I'm just not the person that beats a dead horse about negative behavior, negative attitudes. Thinking about it makes it worse. Dwelling in it makes it hard for me and anyone. But I'm letting you know what you need to do and how to push through. You need grit. It's times, and why is I kind of am being a dead horse because I'm wild that my body is reacting in such a way. I have grit, okay. I took abuse for 20 years with this man, and was patient and tried really very hard. I'm a Cancer again, you guys, and I am committed. My personality, or my very strong personality trait, is loyalty and commitment, and I'm committed. Just like I'm having a hard time with this, it will be hard for me to put it down and to continue. I have a challenge continuing. I have physiological issues, meaning my body, my brain. It's been times that I have felt debilitated and like paralyzed with fear. And what brings this up to me is that I told you guys I have another life, and I mentor women. I mentor girls. It was part of the business I was trying to create when this man kept trying to sabotage me. So I don't really share a whole lot about my challenges with my friends, my group of influence. I'm the healer, so I listen to them and I talk to them and I check on them. You know, especially my strong girls. I got a lot of strong girls in my circle of influence, and those are the ones you want to help. Because people think they're strong. I'm one of those people you think we don't need help because we carry ourselves with strength and dignity. But inside we're dying, and we're just pushing through. But anyway, one of my acquaintances is actually my son's friend. She's a Cancer, and Cancers, Pisces, and Scorpios. We are very traumatic. Well, we come from a place of emotion. We're water signs, so we're mood and emotion. Okay, and all three different zodiac signs, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, we all emotional, but in our different way. Okay, we all share similar traits, like we're intuitive, but we feel things, and so we feel things very deeply. Anyway, one of the I was talking one ago because I know it's on her Instagram that she was posting stuff that I don't want to judge people, and I have to censor myself on this because it's what works for me and the tools that I learned. I don't stay stuck in it. I don't post blah blah blah. This is bad. My life is horrible. I want to die. No, I don't do that. That when you put that in the universe, it expands. And cancers were like that. I'm gonna tell you. And I probably told y'all this before. What's her name? Okay, real quickly, I'm gonna say the woman I was referring to was Amanda Seal. And y'all know that's how Amanda Seal be like, y'all, she be getting lit because she a Cancer, and we feel stuff. And when we're younger, we're really kind of outspoken. And if you look at Amanda generally has good intent. And someone else who is a Cancer who gets in their feelings is Lonnie Love. Me and Lonnie will have some issues, but Lonnie a trip. Lonnie a Cancer too. And you can tell that Lonnie's purpose is to heal. Lonnie has a good heart, and she does good things. You guys all have seen her cry and do things. But I think Lonnie is spiteful. And when you come from a place like that, that's because people did mean things to you. And it may have been hard for her to navigate Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving her excuse. That's the reason. She's done things to me that was wrong, Miss Lonnie. And I've been mad at Lonnie. Okay? But she a Cancer. And so we get in our feelings and we're emotional. And as a Cancer, I'm struggling with this. But I want to quickly tell you some of the tools that I'm using to do better. Or to like navigate and be able to get through. One of the things that I do is I exercise and I listen to music. I will play my music and dance. I'll like dance with dance videos. Or because what you want to do is you want to produce endorphins and I think it creates the chemical in your brain. I want to say norepinephrine, but that's not what it is. It's serotonin. Okay? Because when you are under a lot of stress, what ends up happening is the chemicals in your brain or they're depleted because you eat it up. Because you okay, I'm gonna try to say that really briefly. I don't want to confuse anybody. But when they say people have a chemical imbalance, and you know what, my husband was in mental health, and this is the things that were one of the things that had me lit, and he and I would argue with. They don't explain to you what they mean. Okay, you have a chemical imbalance because it happens. Even like your body imbalance with your cooking, you'll have a pH balance. Your body has different pH balances and different chemicals in your body, and there's ways to fix these problems naturally. You don't have to take drugs. Okay, the body has its own self defense mechanism, and so one of the things that I do is I exercise. And what I've been exercising in here, but I saw a video, an Instagram guy. Instagram, what's his name? It's Ali the Chief, and he into alkaline eating, like vegan, but they're into alkaline eating, which is good for your body. And what he said to me that was really important, that was a good reminder. He was talking about COVID, and because we're indoors, we're not getting vitamin D, and that's something that I knew already, but it was a reminder. So I go jogging. I jogged outside in the daylight so I can come in and do this. Okay, so that's what I want to tell y'all. I'm having a hard time, and that might be contributing to me sitting here ranting about different stuff. In my mind, I'm trying to tell you guys what's happening and trying to give you tools to help you. But you might also notice a bit of avoidance. Okay? Yeah. So I'm going to move forward, okay? Thank you for listening to that, but I'm going to finish where I left off with. I married a white guy and 3 racist judges are trying to annihilate me. Okay, so Judge Sarah Heidel evades my motion to have her disqualified for misconduct and racial bias. And she does that with the help of the clerk, the supervising clerk, Ontario Contreras. And I'm not sure if I told you this before, but I'm trying to tell you where I am in the timeline. And in the timeline, about August, September of 2019. During this time, I also filed a motion to, what I want to do is appeal her ruling. Remember, June 21st, she ruled against me in a motion to compel. And she ruled erroneously. And they're going to call it error. She ruled inaccurately because the opposing was supposed to make an effort to meet and confer. They didn't meet and confer on this motion to compel for derogatories, which is discovery, and motion to compel vocational evaluation. The judge ruled outside of the law. So at this point, you guys, mentally I'm challenged. I'm tired. I'm not sleeping at all. I got serious insomnia. I'm actually, about this time, actually I remember because in September he changed jobs. About this time I'm trying to get medical attention for the insomnia. And there's a delay in me getting my sleep study because he changes jobs without telling me. So the insurance lapsed, okay? And so I'm saying this because I know how my experience emotionally. And it was really very hard. And I struggled with dealing with this, okay? And so why I'm saying that is because I went to the clerk to file an appeal. And I may have already told you guys this. I wanted to appeal the 2 rulings she did on June 21st, which was outside the family court ruling of what the family court says, the California Family Code says. I didn't know how to file an appeal. I knew I had to do a notice of appeal. So I went to the clerk. I may have told you guys this. And Amy, the same one who called Ontario when I wanted to file a motion, she fought with me about giving me a waiver. Remember, she told me she was going to ask the judge. I said, I'm not supposed to ask the judge. I'm filing an appeal against the judge's ruling. The judge is not supposed to be involved in this. I'm asking to ask a higher court. Okay? And I told y'all, they argued and fought with me about giving me the waiver. I'm on food stamps, y'all, so I qualify for everything. This woman did not file. Again, remember, my husband makes between $170,000 and $180,000 at this time. I've been in a long-term marriage. Okay? I believe it's California Family Code 4342. I might be wrong, 4322 or something like this. This is the motion. This is about the code for spousal support. This is one of the heavy weighted areas of my issue with her is that she did not order spousal support, and it should have been in the excess of $4,200 to $4,500. She didn't give me nothing, so I'm eligible for food stamps. Okay, and food stamps in California, I think you have to make less than $2,000 a month. Okay, so again, the clerk Amy gives me conflict about giving me a waiver for the motion for the appeal. And I'm saying this, and I know I've said it before because this is my proof. What she ended up doing is giving me an appeal request waiver for Superior Court. And I have 2. I have 2 because I already had one in file. And this is my proof that they are, not only is the judge discriminating against me, the whole Pomona department, because Judge Lawrence Riff is also a party to this. Judge Iwasaki, both of these judges in Los Angeles, their hands are not clean either. Their hands are dirty too in this case. It becomes an issue with not just the court of Pomona, it becomes the Los Angeles Family Court of Los Angeles, because it's Pomona and it's Stanley Monk, the LA court, LA Metro, okay, the main court. So what I'm saying to you guys is that I am being discriminated against. The Pomona court is showing bias, and the Los Angeles court also retaliated against me because I tried to invoke my civil rights. Yeah, so I know that I told you guys this before, so I'm just going to repeat it. And the reason why I'm repeating this because I'm trying to remember how I knew that she sent my case to Los Angeles. She sent my case to Los Angeles, okay? And I think how I knew that is that I went on the court website to probably see what was going on with my appeal. See, now I know the appeal is done differently. The appeal is done at the district court too. And I know that now because I filed a writ. I'm waiting to hear an answer about my writ now for something else. I know I'm going ahead. But as I speak to you, it's December 21st, 2020. And I'm homeless because she had broken my house and threatened to arrest me. And where I am in the story is I'm telling you guys what has happened thus far. And so what ends up happening is she moved my case to Judge Lawrence Riff in Los Angeles. And I believe the court date was around about October 25th. Okay? I learned this again. I'm trying to remember. I'm going from memory, you guys. And I believe that I learned it's because I saw it on the court calendar. I looked on the court calendar. And I probably looked on the website to find out about my appeal. So again, I attempted to file a motion for an appeal because of the June 21st court date. The court clerk misled me. I thought I was waiting for a court date for the appeal. I didn't know the procedure. Okay, so I looked on the website, and that's when I saw that I had a court case in October in Los Angeles. Also, this is also probably how I knew. I got a motion. They filed a motion to as for me being a vexatious litigant. Vexatious litigant. I'm gonna type it in here what the word is, okay? And I'm not gonna and a vexatious litigant. See, it's hard for me to say because this is how they screw me, y'all. Whew. This is like them shoot me in the back, them tying my hands. This is like them making me handicapped. She filed the motion to say that I can no longer file any motions in court unless I have permission from the same judge that approves this motion. Okay? I'm not going to get too deep into it. I'm going to talk about it later because this is what hinders me. So today, I have a vexatious litigant. I'm on the list. They put me on the list. It's a list that says you can't file any more motions because you've been abusing your power. And you guys, if you have followed between January and as of September 2019, I've done nothing to abuse my ability and my privilege as an American citizen. I have just been trying to get these people to rule under what the law says, and they haven't. Okay? So I have a court date in Stanley Monks. I think it's October 25th. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, okay, good. She done sent to this Judge Lawrence Riff. She now I filed this motion. So what I'm thinking is that instead of me filing a motion to have her recused, so it's not on her record that I requested or she doesn't have this issue with misconduct and racial bias, she goes and sends it to this judge in LA. And when I read the paperwork or my understanding, she was supposed to send it to Judge Lawrence Riff because she anticipated it being a long trial. Okay? And I want to talk about the vexatious litigant, but I'm not 100% sure of where it is in the timeline. Around about this time is when I get the notice. And the reason why I get the notice is because my husband approaches me because they see me filing the appeal. They didn't know I did it incorrectly. They only saw the notice of appeal because they updated the website properly that I filed a notice of appeal. But I didn't do it right. They misled me on what needed to be done. They didn't even give me the proper waiver. I was supposed to go to the district. I was supposed to go to the District Court of Appeals, appellate court. They didn't tell me that. They left me sitting there thinking that. So the statute of limitations could wear out. I think have 60 days to file an appeal based on when the action occurred. So this is what they do. This court system, they use court rules and procedures against me. Okay? but they don't. When they operate, will operate outside the rules. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna take a break because I'm gonna tell you guys about this October 25th. Hey guys, I feel like I need to go ahead and tell you some stuff about where I am emotionally, what's happening to me, and what I'm enduring during about August, September, October 2019. And it's hard for me to say this because I am a strong person. And no one wants to admit that they're struggling with emotional challenges. Okay? What I started off saying would help push me and what made me go jogging and stuff. That one girl I spoke to, one of my friends, and I knew she was struggling. The word she used to me was crippling anxiety and depression. She messaged that to me on Instagram. And the words came to me, crippling anxiety and depression. And my first knee-jerk reaction was like, whoa, that's deep. That sounds debilitating. And y'all, it hit me. I've experienced crippling anxiety and depression. Crippling means you're unable to move forward. Crippling anxiety and depression means that I'm not able to function. What word do I want to use? Effectively? Or I'm unable to perform at levels that I'm used to being able to perform. It's hard for me to say the words, you guys, because I'm dealing with during this time, even as right now, even as I do this, I have fear. And that's when anxiety comes from. Anxiety comes from you being afraid. My body is afraid. My body's so afraid. I'm struggling with saying the words to you. They won't come. My body hurts so bad and it's so debilitating, or the word crippling like she used. I'm unable to express it to you. I'm struggling, and I am. If you're listening, if you're watching, you're staying tuned, and you've been patient enough to look at every one of these videos, and you see this is happening to me. Okay? And it's hard. And as of September, October 2019, I hadn't been sleeping. So let me say this to you. I have been for 20 years in an abusive relationship. And one of the effects of my husband being very abusive to me, what he would do, and I probably said it before, and I'm going to relate to what's happening to me during the time of these court appearances, these events. And I'm trying to tell you, I'm setting you up for what happens, okay? So, one of the challenges I've had for maybe like 10 years with this guy is I would get insomnia. I get really bad insomnia. Sometimes some of the insomnia was onset from pain. I had back pain. Okay, I had migraines, multiple things since probably like 2020, like 2005 maybe. For over 10 years now, I've struggled with issues sleeping. Okay. And I say this to you like you don't understand. Sleep deprivation is very common in America. Okay? And remember I told you guys I was learning tools to navigate these mental and physical debilitations that I was having. I'm a trooper, y'all. I lay in bed and have my moments, but when I'm laying there, I'm thinking, this don't feel right. I gotta do something. I can sit in it because sometimes my brain needs a break, and I just sit in it and I just, retreat or avoid. But I see myself doing it, and I still have to do certain things, So I'm saying to you guys, during this time, I'm struggling with insomnia. I don't even want to say I'm depressed. I don't want to say depression. I'm mad depressed during this time, okay? And I couldn't even say it. I just fucking just say it, right? Which is interfering with my sleep. And so what I'm trying to say, because I've had it would be like bits of okay, so during this time around, this was happening probably June, July, August, forever, I was having episodes of insomnia. And I'm going to say real briefly that I have experienced episodes of insomnia probably maybe since 2005, between 2005 and 2008. And I'm going from when I was having issues with my husband. It probably started when I hurt my back and him being mean to me. I'm trying to recall when these episodes of insomnia started. And I can't actually be honest with you. I can't even give you an accurate date. But I want to describe what would happen. I wouldn't sleep. And I wouldn't go to sleep for days. Like, it might start, like, I might get into a week. My husband would say mean stuff to me, okay, you guys? And I've expressed that to you time and time again. And again, this is not about him. I wasn't in an abusive relationship. Marriage just ends, hence why we're getting the divorce. But what I'm trying to explain to you is the emotional impact that it had on me, okay? I would have episodes of insomnia, and they were pretty bad. And, you know, I'm working very hard to try to get you guys to understand what I'm saying, but I suspect that other people can't relate because sleep deprivation is very common in America. From working too many jobs, or just different things can cause you not to sleep. Because I've have been sleep deprived from when I was in college and you was in school, you know, and you was working, you know, so I know what sleep deprivation feels like. And this occurrence, insomnia, is when you can't go to sleep. I suffered from sleep deprivation as a young adult because my activities, studying in school and college, prevented me from sleeping. So I understood, I'm explaining to you the physical effects. The insomnia is not being able to lay my head down. It's not being able to go to sleep. And what would happen, I want to give you a good description of how the onset of how it would happen. It would come from me having a disagreement or a fight, or I'm being distressed by something. And I know only thing I'm being distressed, I'm not working. I'm trying to build a company. So I'm learning how to build my website and do different marketing things. That's, for me, that's good, feels good for me. My conflict and what's causing me anxiety and fear that creates the insomnia is from fear. And the fear comes from him, my husband. He would just fucking attack me about the stupidest shit. Excuse me, y'all. Okay? He would be in a bad mood. And he would just start fights with me. And if you know me, I'm kind of sensitive. And I'm sensitive that if you know me personally and you've seen this video and you might think, oh, she's not too sensitive. Well, when I'm sensitive, I retreat. When you say do something to me to hurt my feelings, I'll say something kind to let you think that you know that you haven't really hurt me because I'm really hurting. Y'all see that Wendy Williams too. Y'all know Wendy Williams is cancer too. Then I retreat. And that means I don't mess with you. That's how I can't. We don't want that. It hurts. So when he would do stuff to me, it might start that we done went out and he gets drunk. I told you, he would go out. This is how it always starts. We'll go out and do something, and on the way back, he's drunk. And he just says shit that's messed up to me. Now that I'm older, and one of the ways that I dealt with it is I recognized that he would start fights with me, and I would tell myself not to respond, not to react to him, but it still would hurt. It would hurt me that he would say these things to me. He would do these things to me, and it compiled. And what would happen is, like, I would lay up at night thinking about it. You know, it'd be, you know what, you guys, I'd be on YouTube too. That's why I still watch YouTube videos. I'd be up and couldn't sleep, and I might watch a YouTube video to get my mind off of it. You know, and I'll cut the TV off or cut the computer off, and I'll lay there. And because I'm trying to divert my attention from what's happening, what's causing me fear, right? And I lay there. When these episodes would come on, I knew they were coming on because my body would be tired. I would be so like exhausted, sleepy, but my mind wouldn't shut down. So I would lay in bed and I would just wait and just wait. count sheep. If you suffer from sleep deprivation or insomnia, you know what I mean. I would do all this different stuff. I count sheep. I listen to audio tapes on YouTube, like quiet. I would try to do all this stuff to go to sleep. And I wouldn't go to sleep. My husband would wake up, and we slept in separate rooms. I don't know if you told, like, guys, I told you that. My husband had his own room upstairs. We had we always had different sleeping arrangements. And I don't know if I told y'all the story about how we ended up sleeping separately, but I probably have. And if you want to know, ask me, and I'll tell you again some other time. But we slept in separate rooms, okay? Because he would snore as one of the reasons too. And so he would come downstairs and he would say to me, "Have you gone to sleep?" Because it'd be like, he'll come down like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I would be awake. And he would say, "Have you slept?" And he knew I hadn't slept. And so, see, I probably want to give you guys a specific incident, but these different little occurrences would happen frequently. So it was a cycle, and so what would happen. We may get into an argument, whatever the case might be. I haven't slept. He know I haven't slept because he has guilt because he know he said or he did something to hurt my feelings. Okay? And after 10 years into our marriage, I really stopped engaging with him. I would communicate that he hurt me or say something. I might even yell at him, but he would come downstairs and he'd know that I haven't slept because I would have episodes of insomnia. And so this is what was happening. Okay, so I've said all that to let you know that on the October 25th court date, I hadn't slept. It had been, I think, maybe 48 hours to 72 hours. I would go, with these episodes, I would go between 48 hours and 72 hours without sleeping. Meaning I wouldn't go to sleep the first night. Okay? So the next day, I lay in bed not trying to sleep. I toss and turn the whole day. I might take something to help me sleep, like a muscle relaxer or something. But that was a rarity because the muscle relaxers were really very hard on me. They would make me very, very groggy. And what would end up happening is the first night I wouldn't sleep. So the second day in the morning, I would try to go to sleep for a few hours and maybe plan on getting up at like between 11 and 1. I ended up not sleeping. So by 2 or 3 o'clock, I get up and I cook dinner because I still have to function and have dinner for my husband, not to straighten up. Okay, so this is day 2. I haven't slept. Generally, it would be these episodes and insomnia would be between 48 and 72 hours. I may not go to sleep that second night. Okay, as of this time on the October 25th court date, I believe I hadn't been asleep for 3 days. Or if I did go to sleep, no, I wasn't sleeping. Like, I would try to go to sleep, you guys, and I would doze off. The biggest issue was I wouldn't get REM sleep, meaning I wouldn't go to sleep for in excess of 45 minutes. I might doze off. I have a sleep study that's going to demonstrate that. I might doze off, but I'd wake up. So I wouldn't get complete sleep. So on this October 25th court date, I'm kind of relieved that I got this guy, but I haven't slept. And I know this racist, this my husband's Lydian lawyer. I know she's doing something she's not supposed to do. Okay, by this time she had filed a vexatious litigant motion. I'm going to tell y'all about this. Okay, later on. Okay, right now I'm talking about October 25th. October 25th, I hadn't slept. I tell the judge immediately, "Sir, I am not able to participate in any hearing. I have medical issues that are debilitating and preventing me from participating." You guys, he never asked me what's wrong with me. He never asked me anything about my medical issues. I don't think I ever tell him that I haven't slept in 48 hours, 72 hours. I don't think I ever told him that. My words to him was that I was not able to function. Cognitively, I couldn't understand. And you know what? See? And the post-concussion syndrome, see, I wasn't sleeping, My concussion is still bad. I know y'all can tell that. But y'all, last year, I mean, it's still bad. But last year, what would happen is, and I'm telling y'all this, and I still probably have these issues too. All depends if I slept or not. If you say something to me, like say we're in a conversation, and you say something, and the phrase might be 2 or 3 sentences, I don't understand everything you're saying. My brain doesn't process it. And you guys, this was a year ago, so I'm trying to remember my mental state. I know I hadn't slept in 3 days. Okay? When I was telling him I was having medical issues, I was referring to the inability to sleep, the insomnia, but I also think the main thing with me was the concussion. I wasn't sleeping, but I feel like the concussion was preventing me from being able to communicate. So what I'm saying, had he said something, had opposing said something, I couldn't follow along. I couldn't. She said something because what ends up happening in the transcripts, a whole lot of shit in there that I don't remember. And y'all, you might think, okay, you don't remember, so how you know what was right, what was wrong? As I go on, I'm going to tell y'all, okay? Because I discover and I learn this because different things happen. Then I start seeing these different tactics that they were doing. Okay, so October 25th, we go before this judge. I am saying to him, sir, I can't do this. I can't talk to you. I can't communicate. I got medical issues preventing me from moving forward. I may have told him I hadn't slept, but my main thing is I can't do this. We need to change the date. We need to advance this court hearing, okay? He starts talking, and I want to say specific things that he said. One of the things that he asked about, he holds the case like it's the first time we went before divorce. He asked specific questions about us being divorced. This is what hurts my heart so bad, because he does stuff this other judge doesn't do anything. All this judge does is malign me and prevent me from getting justice or whatever I'm requesting in my divorce. She's ignoring me, or she's not addressing it. He says stuff like, he asked us, do we want to be married? And he asked about a declaration of disclosure. I think is what he asked about. Am I saying it right? I don't remember. What I remember is that he held the divorce, the first hearing, as if it was the first time we had went to court. And he said something like, I want to ask you this question. I know Judge Sarah Heidel has asked this question. And I was like, no, she never asked me these questions. He asked specific questions as if it was the first time I was going before him. Okay? So it's a distinction. And I'm saying to him, sir, I can't do this. My husband's attorney is sitting there lying, telling lies, saying stuff that just is inaccurate. Well, this is what always happens. She would say all kind of shit. And you guys, I'm responding based on what I recall her saying, because she said some stuff that I attempted to respond to. Because remember, you guys, I can't think, so I'm struggling. But also, it's stuff in the transcripts that I don't have no recollection of her saying. Okay? None. And had I heard any of this, I would have responded to it. Okay? And I'm saying this to you because the transcripts along Judge Sarah Heidel is racist. Okay? So, I let him know that Judge Sarah Heidel is a racist, and she's treating me incorrectly. She's treating me, she's not being objective or fair to me. She's treating me unfairly because my husband is white. I tell her that. Tell the Judge Lawrence Riff that she is doing things that are not fair because I'm black and he's white. I say to him. And so when I say this to you guys, what you read, you have to read it, but their body language, you have to be aware, tells you what's going on. Because I say to him, I'm on food stamps and he make $180,000. I may say 170 because he makes between 170 and 180. I don't know for sure. The last W-2s that I've seen, he made like 170, and he didn't account for other jobs that I know he has. My husband also does individual family counseling. He works for the University of Phoenix. He does a lot of different things that affords him additional monies. His primary job, his salary is probably between $150,000 and $160,000, and he has other perks that he gets. Okay, during this time. Now today he makes 180. Okay, but this is during 2019. Okay, so I say to the judge to let him know what this lady has done. When I say I'm on food stamps, you see his body language. The clerk Cody, her body language. I'm black. He makes $170,000. Why am I on food stamps in California? You see his body language is uncomfortable. But he doesn't address it. When I say, you know what, because now I remember, I try to let him know that I try to tell him things that Judge Sarah Heidel had done that showed her bias. He would ignore me and change the subject. But remember, what I'm saying in the beginning is I can't talk to you. I can't do this. I'm trying to say in the beginning, I'm not able to have this hearing, right? He conducts it anyway. He starts talking. He starts saying things, okay? One of the things that I remember him, this is what became alarming to me, is when I knew it was going to be some shit with him. He says that what I said about Judge Sarah Heidel is my opinion. He says, that's your opinion. Okay, so when he says that's your opinion, can y'all stick with me? And I hope y'all going to be critical thinkers and you may not 100% agree with me, but I need you to understand the way the mind works. If he says that's my opinion, he's implying that I'm not, what I'm saying isn't true. I don't think as a judge whose attitude, behavior, and opinion should be independent of hers, his statement should be based on the facts. I said that she was doing things that violated my civil rights and she was showing bias to my white husband because he was white and I was black. And I can validate that statement. Him saying, is your opinion, is implying that he disagrees. And he disagrees based on what? Do you understand what I'm saying? Could he feel that just based on him knowing her, he's going to give her professional courtesy to think that that's not true? That could be the case, but that's not his job. His job is to be a judge and be impartial and look at the facts. Okay, so what ends up happening, you guys, is that, because I don't want to go too deep in this. This is one how they start screwing me, okay? He sends me to the, because I don't have an attorney, okay? Still, because she keeps evading when I file these motions for attorney fees. She keeps doing shit to prevent me from getting attorney fees, okay? And in my mind, I haven't slept and I'm suffering from insomnia, but I'm really am not too alarmed because I feel like I have another bite at the apple. I have a new judge, right? But then his attitude, his behavior becomes alarming. What really alarmed me is when he said it was my opinion, okay? Every time I brought up race, he would reprimand me. He'd say something to stop me from talking, okay? And mind you, I said in the beginning, I'm not mentally able to deal with this. So what he ends up doing is he sends me to self-help. He sends me to self-help to give what's called the Declaration of Disclosure. I'm in a hotel, but I have a way to scan this document and put it on the website. It might take me a minute to have all these documents on the website, but eventually they'll be on there. I've got to get through my talking points before I start doing that, okay? So he sent me to the self-help, and the paper says to get help with declaration of disclosure and something else. Okay, and the other thing on there didn't make sense because I did talk to the lawyer. Okay, so, and I want to say this to you because this is not in the transcripts. I'm annoyed because he's still talking, he's still moving forward. He says to me, I don't know why you're upset. We're not doing anything today. I'm going to advance this date to, I believe, January the 2nd, 2020. It's either January the 2nd or January the 7th. The transcripts are going to be on the website for 2019. I have a January 2nd and January 7th date. I always forget if it's 2019 or 2020. I went to court both those days. One was in 2020 and one was in 2019. Okay, I think it was January the 2nd because when I first went to court, I said Happy New Year to him. So I think it was January 2nd, 2020 is where he advanced the court date to. Okay, you guys? He says, and you don't see this in the transcripts. Okay, I'm going to have the transcripts investigated. He doesn't see this in the transcripts. You don't see him saying to me, I'm not going to do anything, so I don't know why you're complaining. Why you're upset. He didn't say those exact words, but when he was saying, like, I don't know why you're upset because I'm not doing anything today. Those were his exact words. Now when you read the transcript today, my husband's attorney says all kind of shit that I don't recall him saying. And what I suspect that they do, I don't want to tell y'all the trick that they do because I know they're going to watch this video and they're going to probably try to cover their ass up. I know the tricks that they do with these transcripts now because I've studied the transcripts and I remember some of the things that occurred. Okay? So, they advanced the dates because, you guys, you know what I think I did? Once I knew it was in LA, am I saying this right? Because he started asking his clerk about court dates. And there was a court date on the calendar for my husband's vexatious litigant, which was in Pomona. I don't understand why they filed in Pomona if they sent me to LA. Okay? Her vexatious litigant was sent to Pomona and was sent to Pomona. I believe she filed it after my case was sent to Los Angeles. So what I'm saying to you guys, let me calm down. They are sending me back and forth, which I think impedes on my ability to defend myself. But I'm showing you how they pass me around. So I'm trying to recall what all occurred on October 21st, 2019 in Judge Lawrence Riff's court. He sent me to self-help to get the declaration of disclosure. And he asked his clerk about the court dates. And what ended up happening was I filed the motion to disqualify Judge Sarah Heidel. And I filed a motion for attorney fees. Again, y'all, okay? I had on the calendar for attorney fees, okay? And if you guys don't remember, look at the law for, I think it's California Family Code 2030. It speaks to my ability to have counsel and what the law says and my husband can afford to pay my attorney fees. My husband should have paid my attorney fees, you guys. Okay? So, let me stop for a minute so I can get my... Okay, guys. So, what ends up happening is he orders that we move the date to January. We advance the date to January. And to be quite honest with you guys, I really don't understand the nature of the hearing. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not able to protect myself. I'm not even sure what's supposed to occur. I'm supposed to do a declaration of disclosure. And that's when I told you, remember, you guys, I told you in the trial that they bullied me into, that I attended under duress. They did not allow me to submit my declaration of disclosure. I'm going to tell you about this declaration of disclosure, okay? Declaration of disclosure, I'm going to tell you about that in the next video, okay? So he sends me to self-help. He gives me a referral, okay? Also, the clerk tells him on the calendar that me and my husband has a court date for, we both have a court date. She had a vexatious, because know what he says, what the court, actually, you know what she says? He asked her about the calendar. The clerk tells Clerk Cody, tell the truth and shame the devil, sister, black woman, Clerk Cody, he asked her what's on there. What he says, because now I remember to meet you with the words that I said. He asked about the court date. She tells him that I have a motion for attorney fees on the calendar. Okay? When there are other motions on the calendar, they can't proceed until these things are addressed. Okay? See, that's why they filed a vexatious litigant against me, because I'm trying to get, before we have the trial, I'm trying to be whole. I'm trying to have current proper spousal support, and I'm trying to get attorney fees. The law says so. I don't remember the spousal support code, but the family code for I might be saying this backwards. The family code for attorney fees is family code 2030. I'm gonna put the family code of family law below here, and I'm gonna put the spousal support family code below here. This is where the issues were. Okay, in order for me to go into a trial, I need to be able to defend myself, and I need to be on even plane. I was a housewife for 23 years. My husband was a primary breadwinner, okay? I'm in California, so I know that many of you understand or are familiar with somewhat with divorce in California, because they talk about celebrities' divorces. And the primary wage earner bears the brunt of the cost. I told y'all at the end they charged me for everything. They charged me over $100,000 for stuff. Okay, and I'm telling y'all how they did this to me. Okay, so I had a motion for attorney fees. That's when Clerk Cody tells Judge Lawrence Riff, and the reason why I remember, because he asked about it, I also said she had something on the calendar, and I said it low key because I knew what it was. She had a vexatious litigant motion against me. Okay, in Judge Sarah Heidel's court. Okay? Remember, I tried to file a motion to have her removed the first time. Okay? She evaded it with the help of the clerk, the court clerk. And I'm going to post the response I have. I have the response that they sent me saying that she didn't get served. And the second one, I'm gonna put the minutes that they sent for their purpose for not having the hearing for the motion to compel. The motion to disqualify. What should have happened with a motion to disqualify, you guys? I filed a motion to disqualify. The judge of record, I think, is how you term it. The Superior Court hears my motion, just like any other request for order. Okay? They agree or decline. Okay? If she declines, then I have so many days to go to the appellate court. Okay? What she kept doing, she kept preventing me from having the hearing, so I could, if I was going to go to the appellate court, I needed reasoning. I have to have foundation for it. Okay, she kept preventing me from having foundation for it because she kept trying to evade it. And you guys, I swear to God, y'all need to watch this whole series from the beginning. Y'all, I know when I get so excited, I listen to these videos. I'm like, you're screaming, Tony, because I'm excited and I'm hurt. If y'all gotta watch these videos 15, 20 minutes at a time, watch them. If you have to rewatch them to get an understanding, because I'm showing you what they do to me. Okay? This is I'm gonna show you how they screwed me. Not trying to confuse you. It's December 21st. I gotta explain to you everything happened from September of 2019 to December of 2020. Everything that had occurred. I'm homeless now. Remember, they trying to sell my house from under me, right? I'm going to explain to you what happens. She recused herself. And I still don't understand why. I can't go to the court. You can't get family court documents off online. Because at family court, you have to go to the court and get it. It's COVID. Now they just sent my stuff to LA. So I don't even have the gas or the ability to drive down there. Parking and all that is a hardship for me. Okay? Yeah. So here, let me stop for a minute. I'm going to wrap this up with everything. Okay, you guys? Okay, you guys, I'm trying to, I need to wrap this up. But it's hard for me because this is when this I know now, like I'm telling you the story as it is occurring. But I'm going to show you how this affects me. Okay? This is how I am demonstrating to you how they maligned me. We went to the October 25th court date. I wasn't mentally able to participate. I explained that to him. I let the judge know that I felt like Sarah Heidel was being biased. I demonstrated that by telling him that I was receiving food stamps and my husband made $170,000, $180,000. You guys, in California, there's no way to excuse or explain how I have no income. I have a history of medical issues, and my spouse makes over $170,000, and for me to be on governmental assistance. Okay, that alone should have been a red flag for Judge Lawrence Riff. Judge Lawrence Riff is the assistant head judge of the Los Angeles Family Court. Okay, I believe Judge Sarah Heidel reports to him. I'm saying to you, he advanced the date to January. I wanted the date advanced because I wasn't mentally able to participate. Anything that was said or I wasn't able mentally to understand. Okay? He even says to me hostilely, because I said, listen, sir, I apologize, because I would have to keep talking. What they do is they stop me from speaking. They would interrupt me when I say things about racial injustice. Just like look at this transcript with Judge Sarah Heidel, how she gaslights me, how she tries to change the subject and cut me off. I know that what I say in court is court record. In the event that I want to appeal, they go according to the transcripts. He is holding the court case. I'm saying things that is relevant. I'm struggling, y'all, because I ain't slept in 3 days. I'm struggling with him saying things and me saying the proper reaction to him. Okay? And so I'm going to point this out because what he doesn't know is I have a basic understanding of mental health and neurology, how the brain works, because I was in an abusive relationship for 20 years. And I suffered mentally. I had emotional and mental strain to my body, to my life. And to try to heal and better myself, I would read books and I would learn things. I have Audible, and Audible is my jam. So I learned different things. And he said to me, because he kept cutting me off. So I'm trying to be humble to this man, you guys, okay? So I apologize, because he kept trying to stop me from talking, okay? I said, I apologize. He says, I don't think you're being rude. He says, I think you have impulse control. Y'all, this ain't nowhere in the transcripts. But I know, Judge Cody, you heard him say this to me. The bailiff, if you remember, he said to me, I think you have impulse control. And the reason why that's important, because what impulse control has to do with the brain and the prefrontal cortex. It's a part of your brain, I want to say prehistoric, but it's not prehistoric, but it means the same thing. It's prehistoric part of your brain. I'm not saying it properly, but it means the same thing as prehistoric. It's a part of your brain that's not. It's one of the brain evolves as we grow. Okay, you guys, I know this because I struggled in a marriage, and I was trying my best to be okay. Okay, when he said that I had impulse control, it supports my position that I wasn't mentally able to function. Prefrontal cortex is your response. It deals with your response, and he said that I had impulse control. If I haven't slept in 3 days, if I've been in a court case, divorce court case with an abusive judge who has demonstrated misconduct and racial bias, having impulse control it would be the direct mental effect or physical effect. And he said that. And when he said that, he was being nasty. By this time, he's being nasty to me. When he said it to me, he expected me to respond to him. Because I said, I apologize. Because I'm trying to talk to him, and I'm trying to tell him what these people are doing to me. That my husband's attorney is sleazy, and she's a liar. And she's deceptive. I use the word deceptive. That Judge Sarah Heidel had not presided over the case fairly. he says to me, he gets sarcastic with me, and I remember feeling he's looking at his computer, and he says to me, I don't think it's your fault. I think you have impulse control. And you guys, let me explain to you. He's making reference to black people, and I know that. He's trying to say, because black people have been impoverished, they've had many mental and the word that I'm looking for, developmental issues. So what he's insinuating, what he's trying to insult me. This is what this man does. I talked to other black women who are married to non-black people and told me how he tries to talk down to black people, okay? And so when he's doing it, it's in his demeanor, okay? But the words he say, it may not seem the same if you read it. So he says to me, you have impulse control. And but he doesn't understand. And I keep saying, no, y'all, I'm not trying to be extra. I read a lot of books. I learn. I teach myself. I'm not a dumb black woman. I'm a tired and broken black woman. When he said you have impulse control, I didn't respond. I heard him and I was silent. He expected me to respond to him combatively. But I didn't say anything because I knew what he was saying was right. That it's possible that I was demonstrating impulse control because I was suffering because of my prefrontal cortex. You guys, you know what? I don't want to get into this very deeply, but I'm going to talk about this on the Reignite Sandy Speaks, because one of the major issues with black people and injustice is our mental health and our ability to function and our developmental ability. How we developmentally means, developmentally is like how you grow and you progress. As you get older and you go through life, you navigate through life, you have learning lessons and your body develops and you grow. If you're raised with an alcoholic or you're raised in an abusive environment, if you have financial challenges, it can impede on your ability to develop, and you have these mental and physical repercussions. Okay? So when he said that that I impulse control, he was insinuating there was something wrong with me. Like I was crazy, or I was like a kid with ADD or some shit like that. That's what he meant. Okay? But he don't understand that I listen to books. It's a book, Neuroplasty. I might link it below. I learned about the brain because I suffered from issues with my brain because I was in chronic pain for 10 years. I was in an abusive relationship. I observed my body not functioning as well as I should be. I was having these effects. So I was very familiar with the prefrontal cortex. Okay, and so when he said impulse control, it made sense. So just because I think it's important I explain it to you. If you are under a lot of stress, if you haven't slept, let's say you're a mom and you haven't slept for days and the baby's been crying and all this shit's happening, till your kids come home and something small happens and you flip out, that's your impulse control. Your impulse control is because you're tired. Like you smack, you hit somebody, your reaction is to strike out. That's because you have depleted your ability. It has to do with your willpower and your ability to restrain yourself, okay? And so when he said that to me, it supported what I was saying to him. One, I was in an abusive relationship for 20 years. Two, I was not mentally able to participate in the hearing because I haven't slept and I have a post-concussion syndrome. Third, I have been abused in the court system in a divorce, okay? Okay, you guys, I'm going to stop right here, and it gets really deep. I'm almost done, okay? This is October 25th, 2019 is what I'm referring to. I'm going to start off on the next one and tell you guys more. I've got to stop now, you guys, because I got to take a break from this and I can't think about it, okay? I actually need to put together the documents so I can show y'all and I can put them on the website, okay?
Tell your friends to pull up.